tongue tied here. It is race night here with the Coast2Coast Racing League. I am broadcasting this evening from Sugar Farm TV and Coast2Coast Racing League. To the hometown heroes 305 cut off first. Presented by Cold Ray. Can't quite get that off. As we are finishing up with the practice here, we should be getting going here in about another 10 minutes or so. I probably started the stream a little earlier tonight, but that is fine. We'll catch a few of these drivers out here on the track. Practice. Tonight. There we go. We'll try this out beside the lid just to see how this works. We got a little play with tonight. Alright, so they're looking at the one of Joseph Pinelli, 518. Joseph Grandy. I'm sorry if I get one of your last names wrong. I'm going to do my best to pronounce everyone's correctly. There's the 410 of Andrew Embach. As we look through the field, a lot of great sponsors to join us throughout the night. I'll try to hit as many, talk about as many of them as I can tonight. The pre-race show is brought to you by Chapman Racing. We'll go ahead and try to hit some of the point standings as we wait here for them to move on to qualifying. Sorry about a little bit of a cough I have going on right at the moment. But for the hometown heroes this evening, where is my standing? Why can't I click on them to find there? There we go. Now I got them. So for our 305s, our points breakdown is this. In first, we got Joseph Grandy. Second is Patrick Spangler. Third will be Riley Buer. I'm sorry, Riley Buer. My eyes aren't what they should be. Ryan Lawson is fourth. Randy Shreves at fourth. Tied for sixth. Well, it says sixth, but I'm going to call it fifth. Is Dean Reynolds and Michael Vitelli. In eighth is Brian Moore Sr. Tied for the ninth spot is Gene J. Boydell and Andrew Embach. Those are your top 10 drivers following out with Roger Craig in 11th, Brandon Dittmer in 12th. Tied for 12 was Christopher Roberts. Joe Pinellas in 14th, Gary Taylor in 15th, Jeffrey Parker, Christopher Schaefer, Nicholas Victory, all tied for 16th. 19th is Neil Strasser. 20th is Gary Siegelkow. Patrick Boyce, Bob Good, and Dustin Sargent all tied for the 21st spot. Corey Sargent is 34th. I'm trying to do justice tonight as this is my first time broadcasting for the Coast2Coast guys. I hope I do something that will be on through. Hopefully everybody enjoys the stream. If anybody has improve my broadcasting and hopefully everybody is just fine. Almost sounds like it can't quite unless I can. Okay, I got my, okay, yeah. So we should be okay on, you guys hearing me? Oh, I'm sorry, my mic was muted again. I'm completely sorry. That was Riley Burr we were watching there. He has set the quick time with a 13.84. Behind him is number 1 of Joseph Canales with a 13.86. Behind him is Moore in the 5.58. I'm thinking I'm seeing there with a 13.87. These drivers are only a few hundredths apart, if that. As we're just about to race time, another 2 minutes, and we should be kicking off to go to qualifying. Looks like everybody's sitting on pit road at the moment. I'm not sure if we can get a little bit of a walkthrough here. We'll try to do a grid walk as we go through the night just to get some of the drivers' names up on screen. And you see Brandon Dittmer there, Lacona, Iowa, I believe that is. I'm not real good with abbreviations, but that's what I'm going to go with. I could be completely wrong on that, though. Anthony Morano is out on track in the number 32 car. Gears Unlimited, W Energy. From Fort River. He's out there in that orange and light blue 305 tonight. He wants to try to get a couple laps turned. As we've reached 15 minutes of practice left, I don't think they're going to let it go all the way. As we say, wait, sure that we're all set to go here. As Anthony Morano has just pulled off the track. Looks like we are advancing the session to qualifying. Looks like first out on track, we have Anthony Morano in that number 32. Making his first lap, coming out for his out lap. Qualifying brought to you by, I'll get this down, ABR Sales Drop. More than 7 years of iRacing experience and 3-time iRacing World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series World Champion. Alex Bergeron is your coach and your setup builder for iRacing. The goal is to make you the fastest on the track without any exceptions. Don't look any farther. ABR Setup Shop offers weekly official race setups, custom setup requests for your specific races, and most importantly, one-on-one coaching sessions. Oh, as we get through our qualifying times here, looks like Dittmer is your fastest so far on pole with a 13:88. Burr is in second with a 13:89. That's tied with Wilson in that number 42. Riley Burr just finished his. Looks like, as he's still sitting on track, Blake Chapman running a couple laps here. Not sure where he's at, if he's on his first or second. Why do I have that up there in the middle of my road? I can't see. There we go. Right? As he finishes his, Blake Chapman looks to have qualified 7th. Dan McLaren just finished his as well, looks like. So qualifying top 10 is going to be Dittmer, Burr, Wilson, Flero, Spangler, Grandy, Chapman, Strasser, Boyce, and Kemper are your top 10 qualifiers. As we get ready to move on to the heats here. Wanted to give a shout out when I was going through the standings. I forgot to mention All About Tie-Dye, located in Liberty, Missouri. All About Tie-Dye is the official tie-dye of the Coast2Coast Racing League. All right, Dan McLaren back on track now. He must not have was happy with the way it started out. As it looks like he blinked out on us there. We got advanced session. That's what happened. So we are now into our first heat session. Sorry about the phone ringing in the background. We'll just ignore that. We'll bring up our grid here. There's our starting grid with McLaren on pole, Boyce in second, Patrick Spang. Dang it! Where am I at here? Patrick Spangler in third. Brandon Dittmeyer in fourth, Andrew Embach in fifth, and Stephen Bixler in sixth. That is your Heat 1 starting grid. Heat 1 is brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. At Langdon Mechanical, we are the second to none heating and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area and promise our customers our own professionally trained Langdon specialist will be there personally every step of the way. We guarantee your customer satisfaction from start to finish, including sales, installation, and maintenance service of your heating and or cooling system. Every equipment sale, installation, and maintenance service call we make is backed 100% by Langdon. So as we are coming around for this time by to get the green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
And we want to get something out of the way here. We are green. McLaren down to take them to the green. Pat Wilson there in the 38 down there on the inside. Well, sorry, 39 is on the inside. Pat Boyce is on the outside of that number 41. That is Spangler in the 39 on the inside. The 83 of Brandon Dittmer is there in fourth, trying to make that, trying to find a line to get around. Sorry, my voice is just not wanting to cooperate tonight. He's on the outside. Dittmer's on the outside. Spangler on the inside. Spangler looks to be hung out to dry a little bit there on the inside, and they're all going around on the outside. trying to get the momentum there on the inside, but is not having enough. Going to have the ball in line there in fourth. As we are now strung out, single file. Trying to see what the back of the pack looks like. We've got Andrew Embach and Steven Bixler back here at the back. Not sure what happened to Joseph. It looks like he didn't grid up. Out front, we got Dan McLaren, Pat Boyce in second. Third is going to be Brandon Dittmer. And in fourth is Patrick Spackler. As he's still trying to get that inside to work here at Lucas Oil. Gets around, but just does not quite have the drive off the corner. Pat Boise there in second. The 83 of Brandon Dittmer goes to the inside, gets that position. Well, no, I'm sorry, that was checkered flag. I'm sorry. So your Heat 1 results are going to be McLaren, Boyce, Dittmer, Spangler, Embach, Bixler, and Canales there in Heat 1. Sorry. In Heat 2, your grid's going to be Brian Moore Sr. starting first, Jeffrey Kemper in second, Joseph Brandy in third, Riley Burr in fourth, Anthony Morano in fifth, Austin Marlack in sixth, seventh is going to go to Gary Sigelkow. And Heat 2 is going to be brought to you by Magnum Race Design. Magnum Race Designs offers iRacing wraps, hero cards, logos, flyers, and even t-shirt designs. If you're looking for a new design and you want attention to detail, competitive pricing, and fast turnaround times, check out Magnum Race Designs on Facebook, where you can contact them directly through Messenger. Magnum Race Design is the proud sponsor of the Coast2Coast Racing League's 358 division. These are the 305s we are currently running, coming to the green flag this time. Brandon Moore Sr. is going to lead them to it. Coming out of turn 4, they're all stacked up, airing to go.
Green.
Got the green, and they are off. Joseph Brandy gets a good start there on the inside, takes away the second. 3 wide coming out of the corner. Not sure what happened to Jeffrey there, as he's now falling back to the back. Joseph Brandy there, we're looking from the wing cam here at the moment, as he's trying to find a way to get around Brandon Moore Sr. there in the back of the gate. Good shot of them coming down the back stretch here at Lucas Oil. Side by side is the 518 and 558 as they're trying to make ground on one another. Riley Burr there in third, Anthony Morano in fourth. Riley Burr was second quick, I think, tonight qualifying, if I can remember the qualifying results correctly. Currently running third. Joseph Brandy there in the number 518, looking to try to get around the 558 of Brian Moore. Anthony Morano's still sitting in fourth, seems pretty content. Checkered flag coming out of the corner now. Brian Moore will be your winner. Joseph Brandy in second. Riley Burr in third. Anthony Morano fourth. Austin Marlock in fifth. Let's finish out those grid here. The finishing order. Sixth was Jeffrey Kemper, I think. And seventh was Gary Sigelkow. Coming into Heat 3, we have Joe Halter in first, Jeff Baker in second, Blake Chapman in third, Tyler Wilson in fourth, Sean Morano in fifth, and John Rainier Jr. in sixth. Heat 3 is brought to you by the Salty Dogs Racing Team. The Salty Dogs Racing Team is composed of many of the senior members of the Coast2Coast Racing League, and have been released from the home to create havoc. And I'm sorry, the Salted Dog logo is overcoming what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to say action on the track. Whenever 3 or more dogs are in a race, a dog bone will be awarded to the highest finisher. Thank you, Salted Dogs, for your support of the Coast to Coast. As we get ready to bring them out of turn 4 for the green flag, that'll be Joe Halter bringing them to it. I think, no, it should be sorry. No, that'll be Jeff Barker bringing them to the green flag. Joe Halter there on the outside.
Green flag, green flag.
The green flag is out. We got 6 laps to figure out who's going to be the top one here this heat. Joe Halter gets a good jump. No, I'm sorry, Joe Parker gets a good jump. And they collect there in the back. And it's John Morano and John Rainier there at the back. As they bring up front, it is going to be Joe Halter there in the number 22. Jeff Parker there in the 513. Blake Chapman in the 20. All fighting for those are the top 4 right there. Tyler Wilson there in 4th. As you saw, 5th and 6th, John Rainier Jr. and John Morano kind of got back up on the start. As we get rolling out here, looks like Joe Halter's in front. Jeffrey Parker in 3rd. Jeff Barker in 2nd. Blake Chapman in 3rd. Now I'll move back to 4th with the passing of Tyler Wilson. Still trying to get everything working here this evening. Trying to play around, make sure I got everything correct. .42 of Tyler Wilson is trying to chase down that 513 of Jeff Barker. Joe Halter's out in front. Looks pretty solid out there. As we come across the finish, it is Joe Halter, Jeff Barker, I'm sorry. Okay. Thought I checked the flag way, but I guess it hasn't yet. Okay. I'm having trouble seeing the flag stand here. So Joe Halter is your winner of Heat 3. Jeff Barker there in 2nd. Trying to bring us up. Tyler Wilson in 3rd. Blake Chapman in 4th. John Rainier Jr. is in 5th. And John Morano will finish out the field in 6th. Trying to figure out, is this the trying to figure out which one this is. I'm gonna guess this is another heat or yeah, this is Heat 4. Okay. Sorry about that. Just could not figure out which heat this was. So, in your heat race number 4, we have Corey Schartzer out front on pole. Dean Reynolds in 2nd. Neil Strasser in 3rd. 4th is going to be Jeff Flaro in 4th. 5th is going to go to Roger Craig. 6th is going to go to Dustin Sargent. Heat race number 4 this evening, as they come around for the green flag, is brought to you by 21 Design.
Green, green, green.
They are green. The 79 of Dean Reynolds gets a great start. 6 there of Corey Schartzer there on the inside. Gets a good run off the turn 2. Back down to the turn 3. They're looking to go. Ooh, that was a little close there. Jeff Flaro. And looks like we got Roger Craig and Neil Strasser together at the back. Back out front, we got Dean Reynolds out front. Corey Schartzer in 2nd, we got a great battle between these two up front. Jeff Flaro looking for one of those two to make mistakes so he can move up the podium, but I think he's quite content riding where he's at for the moment. As he dives to the bottom, trying to get underneath the 6 of Corey Schartzer. Dustin Sargent out there in fourth. Claro back to the bottom, trying to make that momentum side, get the momentum there on the inside, but the top side's still very predominant. Dang it. Corey Schartzer there in second, trying to find the wet lane to possibly get him around the 79 of Dean Reynolds, get that top spot away. As Dean Reynolds is out front. Doesn't look like he's looking back too often. As looks like Jeff Claro went and found some speed there on the bottom to get around the 6. Going to try to slide up. As checkered flag comes out, looks like Jeff is going to get the second position. Yeah. Okay, so Dean Reynolds will be your winner. Jeff Claro in second. Corey Schartzer in third. Dustin Sargent in fourth. Neil in fifth. Finishing results here. Neil Strasser in fifth and Roger Craig in sixth. Again, Dean Reynolds was your Heat 4 winner. Looks like we're moving into a B main here. Your starting grid for the B main's going to be Andrew Embach. Austin Marlott in second. Joe Rainier Jr. in third. Neil Strasser in fourth. Stephen Bixler in fifth. Jeffrey Kemper in sixth. Seventh is going to go to John Morano, and in eighth is Roger Craig. Ninth is going to be Joseph Canellis, and starting 10th, Gary Siegelkow. Your B main is brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Gambler Motorsports is an esports racing team that competes weekly across the iRacing. Has drivers entered in dirt races, sports cars, asphalt oval. This year they will have drivers in the prestigious 24 Hours of Daytona and Le Mans. Go to Gambler Motorsports on Facebook and follow them. As we get ready for your B main, pace car is off. Coming to the green flag this time. .410 of Andrew Embach's going to bring him to it. And 999 Austin Marlott to his outside. 68
Green.
There's the green flag. Who's going to get the better jump? The outside row got a great jump. Austin Marlott now is your leader, followed by John Rayner. They are together at the back. Probably a good section of them collected. Looks like Neil Strasser, Stephen Bixler, not sure Roger Craig was collected. Gary Siegelkow, as the leaders are coming up on him. Austin Marlott out front. John Rainier is in second there. As we go to our drone cam for the moment, our drone cam brought to us by oh, dang it, I have that somewhere here. Dang it, stop. Still looking at that 999 out front. We're looking actually at the second, third, and fourth place battles. This is the Ace Design drone. Ace Design and 3D provide rendering similar to what iRacing does for their NASCAR Coke series. They will provide a free rendering to the winner of each week's Hometown Heroes 305 series. So we want to give a shout out to Ace Designs and 3D printing. I'm sorry, maybe not 3D printing. Just Ace Designs and 3D. As the 302 looks like it's got the third position. Joseph Canellis there in second. Austin Marlott out in front by a large margin. 3 to go. Now 2 to go here in this B main. As we're looking at Joseph Canales there in the number 1. That gets back, single cow back into the wall once again. Roger Craig, Austin Marlott out front, final lap. I think it's safe to say Austin Marlott's got the win. Joseph Canales there in second. John Rainier and John Morano fighting for that last spot as they touch coming across the line. That'll be the 03. So our finish results are going to be Austin Marlott, Joseph Canales there in second, John Rainier Jr. in third, John Morano in fourth, Andrew Embach in fifth. See our B main results here. Austin Marlott there in sixth, Roger Craig in seventh, Stephen Bixler in eighth, Gary Singlecow in ninth, and in 10th is going to be Neil Strasser. As we get set for our warm-ups here this evening, we can go look at some drivers, see maybe where their hometown and stuff is. I don't have really a promo to play at the moment. Hopefully I'm not drowning myself out with the race cars. The Hometown Series this evening is brought to you by Coolray. As we're looking at the number 20 of Clarence, Iowa. Oh, he's from Clarence, Iowa. That's the number 20 of Blake Chapman. Sorry, getting my words mixed up once again. Joseph Grandy here in the 528. Anthony Morano there in the 32 from Fort River. Racing for Gears Unlimited and W Energy. Tyler Wilson is in the number 042. Tyler Wilson is from Battleground, Indiana. Dean Reynolds here in the number 790. Looks like his car is just 79 from North Syracuse. Brian Moore Sr. in the 558. Dean McLaren is in the 88 from Hamilton, Ontario. Sponsors he'd like to shout out to is WeldStar, VMR Wraps, and Spartan Racing. Jeff Flaro there in the number 200. Keep going back here. We got Riley Burr in the 084. Pat Royce in the number 41. Joe Holler in the number 22 is not on track. Corey Schartzer in the number 6. He's from Caldwell, Idaho. Joseph Canales there in the number 1. He's from Bristol. Roger Craig is in the 747, Brantford, Ontario. As I'm seeing drivers clear the track, warm-up is over. We're on to our feature event for the evening. Our feature lineup, Dean McLaren in first, Brian Moore Sr. in second, Joe Halter in third, Dean Reynolds in fourth. Pat Boyce is going to start fifth. Joseph Grandy in sixth, Jeffrey Barker in seventh, Jeff Flaro in 8th, Brandon Dittmer in 9th, Riley Burr in 10th, Tyler Wilson in 11th, Corey Schartzer in 12th. I think I'm going to have to mess with my settings a little bit to make them driver names a little easier for you guys to read. I got to figure out how I'm getting these, there we go. Patrick Spangler in 13th. 14th is going to go to Anthony Morano. 15th is Blake Chapman. Starting 16th is going to go to Dustin Sargent. 17th is Joseph Canales. 18th is John Rayner Jr. 19th goes to John Morano. 20th is going to go to Andrew Mbach. 21st is starting Jeffrey Kemper. And starting 22nd is Austin Marlott. I don't know. Oh, yeah, we do got more back here. Okay, so we got Roger Craig in 23rd and Stephen Bixper starting 24th. That is your starting grid for your feature. Your feature this evening for the 305s. It's brought to you by the Super Dirt Car Series. Super Dirt Car Series, the Northeast Premier Series showcase the big block modified premier drivers. From Florida to Canada, the Super Dirt Car Series visits some of the most exciting dirt tracks in front of the biggest crowds. We are Green Flag. As Brandon Moore or Dan McLaren gets a great jump off the start, gets out front early. They all start stacking up behind him. Looks like we got a mess back here at the back.
The yellow flag is out.
Try to see what exactly happened here. At the end. As we come into turn one, they get a little stacked up. Somebody gets a little sideways. They get stacked up. They get together on the outside, come down, and look out. As we re-rack them and stack them up here for the restart. Restarts are brought to you this night by Mission 22. I'm sorry, I don't have a logo or anything to bring up for them at the moment. As we're still looking out front there's the 88. Oh, what did I do here? Try and get back up front here. Not sure who's caught towards the back. Looks like Joseph Canales is trying to get back around. As we are on lap 3 out of 30.
Green.
Green flag is back out. The 88 brings them into turn 1. Take a look a little farther back. All look to get through it okay. Back out front, we got the Dean McLaren. Joe Halter there trying to find a way onto the inside of Brian Moore. In that number 588, that bright yellow and red car. As that track looks to be getting some slick spots to it. Dean Reynolds there in 4th. Joseph Brandy in 5th. Back out front, we're here with Dean McLaren. Ryan Moore Sr. and Joe Halter are battling there for the 2nd position. Dean Reynolds there in the 79, looking in. 25 laps to go. Joseph Brandy there in 5th. It looks like we got some more action back to back. Anthony Morano's trying to work his way up through the field. Don Morano back there towards the back. Going to the inside of the 410. Up front, we got the 518 of Joseph Brandy trying to find his way down to the inside of the 79 Dean Reynolds. It looks like that top side starting to slip off some. Maybe the bottom is going to come in for some of these drivers. That's 518 gets a good run off the corner. Back down in turn 1 to 22 of Joe Halter's looking to try to find a way to get underneath 558. That 518 and the 79 are coming for Joe. Sorry about my problems trying to talk tonight, as I'm still battling a little bit of sinus and allergies. So glad to be part of Coast to Coast this evening. Dean McLaren is out front, running away with this one at the moment. Brian Moore there in second. Joe Halter there in third. The 518 of Joseph Grandy is still looking to try to find a way to get around the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Brandon Dittmer there in the 83 in sixth position. As looks like we have Joe... Oh, look, Jake Canales is off track. Looking at the 302 currently of John Rainier Jr. Trying to see what action's going on here on this track here this evening. We got two of them almost tangled up. Anthony Morano still fighting his way through the field. Pat Boyce there has got company from the 42. The 42 clips a tire and goes around. That one will be on the 42. As going into the turn, he clipped the tire. Those wonderful tractor tires there on the infield will find you one way or the other. And unfortunately, the 42 did find one there. Coming into, I believe it was turn one. Just found that turn one tire and around he went. Oh, that'll tighten the field back up. See if anybody's got anything for Dan McLaren out front in that 88. Brian Moore in second. Joe Halter in third. Dean Reynolds in fourth. The 518 of Joseph Grandy in fifth. Hopefully I'm doing a good job bringing the action to you this evening. Everybody's enjoying themselves here at the track. Hope everybody's enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying bringing it to you here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. The Coast to Coast Hometown Heroes 305s here at Lucas Oil. Going to be followed by the Hometown Heroes 360s and then the Big Block Modifieds, I believe, before we move into the Veterans race. I forget which cars they race. I want to say UMPs, but I could be wrong. Not completely sure. But we'll find out when we get there. Like I said, this is my first night with this. Green flag is back out. Dan McLaren brings them to it down into turn one. Dean Reynolds going to try to find the outside there. Try to find, see if he's got room to go around Joe Halter on the outside. Not quite going to have it.
Yellow flag.
Yellow flag is back out. Go back and see if we can find out what happened. Looks like problems off the start. Anthony Morano goes to the outside. Looks like the three. Oh, that'd be the. Who are we looking at here? The 200. Jeff Flaro got tangled up. They're on the bottom side of one with the 20, I believe it was. Yes, it was. It was number 20. Blake Chap. Unfortunately, went around enough that he got collected. Back to our live racing action here. Dan McLaren is still out front, followed by Brian Moore Sr., Joe Halter, and Dean Reynolds. Joseph Grandy rounding out your top five. In sixth, going to be Brandon Dittmore, Pat Boise in seventh, Blake Chapman in eighth, Riley Burr in ninth, and rounding out your top 10 is going to be Anthony Morano, I believe, if I'm catching my scoreboard correct, as it cycles back around here as we're getting ready to take the green flag once again. That is correct. Anthony Morano is going to round out your top 10. Hope everything's running smooth so far. Looks like it is. Very pleased with that. Dan McLaren takes him into turn one. Green flag is back out. Brian Moore, Joe Halter in third. Still battling hard at the back. Up front, kind of more of a little bit of a freight train. The 83 of Brian Dipper is going to try the bottom side to get underneath the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Coming into turn 3 and 4, I believe it is. Unless I got myself turned around. No, I was turned around. That was turns 1 and 2. Now they're coming to 3 and 4. At 20, going underneath the 41 of Pat Boyce. Going to try to make that spot work.
Caution, yellow flag.
Caution is back out. We'll go back and try to find out. That was Jeff Flaro once again at the back. And at number 200. Coming into turn 3 here, he finds that tire. That tractor tires happening for these 305 drivers tonight. Chip Flair not having the best night tonight. Dan McLaren there in first. Brian Moore in second as the thing gets second back around here. Looks like we got a couple cars back here. It's like Jeff's going to call it a night, possibly. That Jeff's. I'm not. I think he's looking for pit road. Not sure exactly what's going on here. As we get back towards the front of the pack with Dan McLaren. Pace truck looks like it's off. Or pace car, I should say, is off. We are heading to the green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is back out. Down into turn 1 goes Dan McLaren, followed by, but Joe Halter goes around.
The yellow flag is out.
We'll have to go back and re-watch that one. As that one, definitely, Joe looked to get a little loose there in the corner. You see exactly what happened here. As they come in. Oh, no, Dean Reynolds comes through and tags Joe from behind. Unfortunate, the 6 gets parked up on the wall, up onto the tractor tire. Not sure what happened. They, Morano there, but I saw him down in the infield. Looks like Halter's car is still drivable, so. No. Halter's in the pits. Possibly getting a quick repair. Out front, it's still Dan McLaren. Brian Moore, Pat Boyce now takes that third spot with the mishap between the 79 of Dean Reynolds and the 22 of Joe Halter. As we get ready to take the green once again, lights are out on the pace car. Will be 10 to go here shortly. Looks like we're on 11 to go. Okay, 12 to go. My scoreboard just reset to 12 to go. So it'll be 12 to go when we take the green.
Green flag.
I'm sorry, 11 to go. This time by. As they take the green flag, Dean McLaren out front. Caution's back out as we have a mess in turn 1. Getting towards the end of it, seems like the drivers are getting a little antsy. And watch come into turn 1 here. And get off the start okay. Coming into turn 1. And the 999 just pushes through the 410, and then it just piles on from there. Nobody has anywhere to go. Quite a few get through pretty good, though, unscathed. As we're going to re-rack here and try yet again. As we're going to be down to 10 to go when they take the flag. Lights are out on the pace car. Dan McLaren there in the 88. Going to try to bring us home. Bring him to the green flag. 10 to go this time. Can we get through turn 1 without an issue? That is going to get to be seen. Looks like we do. We are green flag once again. Dan McLaren out front. Pat Boyce is trying to find a way to get underneath Brian Moore. The 20 Blake Chapman's looking in the top 3 here. We'll get an interview with the top 3 when this one finishes out. We got the 41 and the 20 battling there. 20 gets a good run off the corner, down on the inside of the 41. The 83 also getting a run there on the bottom side. .41 to the outside of the 20. Still a good battle. Gets a little loose. They get together on the backstretch. Do they save it? They do save it, amazingly enough. We're still green. That puts Blake Chapman in third. Brian Moore in third. Brian Moore in second. And Dan McLaren is still way out front. 5 to go next time by. Brian Moore and Blake Chapman are your top 3. Tyler Wilson there in 5th. Underneath of... Tyler Wilson there in 5th. He's got company from the 83, though, of Brandon Dittmer. Up front, the 20 now is giving company to to Brian Moore. Brian Moore's got more company, though, from the 39 going to underneath. Brian Moore had fallen back. Blake Chapman's got company from the 39 now because inside. 3 to go. Racing has heated up here up front in these final laps. Who's it going to be? The 39 of Patrick Spangler or Blake Chapman for that second position? Spangler throws the slide. 20 does a crossover. Gets back underneath him, but does he have enough? Does not look like he's got quite the momentum that the 39 carried off the corner. As we are coming around to the white flag, Dan McLaren is way out front. Patrick Spangler not going to have anything for him, but he's got that second position as they come off of turn 4. This time for the checkered, it's going to be Dan McLaren out front. Patrick Spangler in third. Blake Chapman in third. And Patrick Spangler is in second. Your victory lane is going to be brought to you by Cool Ray Heating and Air Conditioning. Cool Ray's goal is to make sure that Ray's tradition of 100% customer satisfaction lives on today. Cool Ray is proud of their reputation of providing excellent service to homeowners and businesses in Georgia. Their mission is to continue to build long-lasting relationships with their customers through their winning spirit and commitment to 100% satisfaction guaranteed. As now we go and see if we can interview the top 3 drivers here. As looks like we got our second place finisher here, Patrick Spangler. Patrick, you got a copy on me?
Yeah, got you.
Yeah, it's Adam up here in the booth tonight. Congratulations on the second place finish.
Thanks, man.
Any comments about the track this evening?
Just 3 or 5 fix. There's a couple big ones there. Just lucky to miss them, and got shuffled back like 17th and got back to the second. So kind of was positive, and hopefully can take that momentum to the 360s.
Hopefully you can take the momentum going into the next race. Any sponsors or anybody you want to thank for your podium finish for this evening?
Just Brandon Tyler with Coast Racing, racing with me there. You for putting on the broadcast, Roger for running the league, and Dad and Uncle back on watching.
Well, thank you for being such a great part of it.
Hopefully talk to you next race too.
Well, hopefully. We'll see. That was Patrick Spangler, our second place finisher. We'll grab our third place finisher, Blake Chapman. Bring him up. Congratulations on your third place podium finisher, Blake. You got me?
I got you.
All righty. Congratulations on that third place podium finish.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. I was just kind of holding on to it there at the end. On one of the restarts, the guy got into me, and the hand one was a bit off on the car, but still able to get around some guys and got lucky on one restart. There was a huge pile up on the bottom, and I decided to go up high. So you need a little bit of luck, and still the car was okay after that contact, but just glad I could hold on to a third place run.
Yeah, car still looked fast out there. You got around Brian Moore there towards the end. Brian Moore was in second and kind of just slid back as you and Spangler kind of just passed him there in them final laps.
Yeah, I really thought I found something there about a line up off the bottom, which is where I passed him at, and then Patrick stuck his nose down underneath me, got around me on the bottom, so I'm like, well, maybe the bottom is the place to be. So, yeah, just a little confused here at the end, but I think bottom is still the place to be, and, just have to see how the track pans out in these 360s.
Yeah, this is still a newer track to the iRacing circuit, so it's going to be interesting how it plays out for the drivers. I think we've only had maybe about 2 weeks of having the track.
Yeah, I think I've had about 10 laps of practice coming into this race, so definitely just trying to learn how to drive it.
It's still lots of learning curve going on, most definitely. We'll see if we can get a hold of our... you got any sponsors or anybody you want to thank for this evening for your third place podium?
Yeah, of course, I got to thank parents, grandparents, C-Bex, everybody watching and supporting, all the boys down at the Kreitz Racing Team and the K&M Racing Team. Galen's Gourmet Popcorn, head over there to their website, use code CART, C-A-R-T, at checkout, 15% off some of their delicious popcorn. Got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps for the new wrap on the Sprint, and you for doing this broadcast.
No, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, have a good night, Adam.
You too. You racing any more tonight?
I do plan on running 360. So
well, we'll see if we get you back here in the booth again.
Yeah, I hope so.
Alrighty. Alrighty, Dan, you are our winner here. Do you have a copy?
I got a copy, Adam. How's it going?
It's going great. So as this 305 is finished out, you seem to just have that car set on autopilot pretty much for that that podium finish up first. Didn't seem like you had too much history up front.
Totally wasn't expecting that, especially with all the talent in this field. Like I thought for sure Spangler, Chapman would have ran me down, even Brian Moore Sr. But no, turned out good, and happy with the win.
I think Spangler might have had something for you if he would have found out that the bottom was the place to be there later in the races. He started to come up through the field quite quickly. Seems like he found something late. But
yeah, I was watching the road as soon as I saw Chapman, Spangler, 2-3, I started to sweat a little.
Yeah, but you were able to hold it off. Any sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank all the guys at Spartan Racing, VMR Wraps, Wellstar Custom Fabrication, Coast2Coast Racing League, and you for putting on the broadcast.
Well, it's my pleasure. You racing any more of the series tonight?
Yes, sir. I'll be in the next one.
Alrighty. Well, we'll see if any of these three that we finished top podium here can pull it off again in the 360s, as I believe that's our next session coming up here. So please stay tuned.
Thanks, Adam.
Oh, thank you.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte, and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
In our industry. The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything. When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Coast2Coast Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
I'm here, I'm talking away, and I once again forgot to unmute my microphone. I think that's going to be a problem here for a little bit, but we'll get it worked out. Once again, this is Adam Flieger with Flieger Farm TV and the Coast2Coast Racing League. Oh, I'm sorry. This is, I'll get this figured out. The Coast2Coast Racing Network welcomes you to the Hometown Heroes 360s. Presented by the Salty Dogs Racing Team. Salty Dogs Racing Team is composed of many of their senior members of the Coast2Coast Racing League and have been released from the home to create havoc. And like I said, I gotta get somebody to get me this fixed. Abram, and I'm trying to work here. Whenever 3 or more dogs are in a race, a dog bone will be awarded to the highest finisher. Looks as though we are in qualifying. Qualifying is brought to you. I'll get this all figured out. I'll get this here eventually. But the standings tonight are brought to you by All About Tie-Dye, located in Liberty, Missouri. All About Tie-Dye is the official tie-dye of the Coast2Coast Racing League. And the point standings for the 360s, I'm going to read off the top 15. Steven Sipes is in first, Nicholas Vickery in second, Randy Shreves in third, tied with Patrick Spangler. Fifth is going to be Dustin Sargent. Sixth is going to Jeffrey Barker. Seventh is Joe Halter. Eighth is Jeff Sharp. Ninth is G.J. Boydell. 10th goes to Robert Evertson. 11th is Kevin Fry. Neil Strasser is in 12th. Dean Reynolds 13th. Joe Canales in 14th. And Jeffrey Kemper in 15th. And tonight, your qualifying sessions are brought to you by the ABR Setup Shop. With more than 7 years of iRacing experience, the 3-time iRacing World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series World Champion, Alex Bergeron is your coach and your setup builder for iRacing. The goal is to make you the fastest on the track without any exceptions. Don't look any farther than ABR Setup Shop. ABR Setup Shop offers weekly official race setups, custom setup requests for your specific races, and most importantly, one-on-one coaching sessions. So as we get back here to qualifying times, let's see if we can get our tower back working correctly here. Looks like we've got Grandy out front with a 1280, Dickens with a 1281, Chapman with a 1282, DeGood with a 1287, Dittmer, we saw him in the last race. He comes in here with a 1292. Spangler comes in with a 1293, tied with Burr. Koyanata, I'm sorry, I can't figure out how to pronounce that, has a 1297. McLaren has a 1297, tied with Boyce. As we get into our Heat 1, Heat 1 is brought to you by... I got these a little out of order. So, bear with me as we get our grid up. Jeff Barker is going to start first. Dan McLaren in second. Brandon Dittmer in third. Joseph Grandy in fourth. Chris Schaefer in fifth. Sixth is going to be Steven Spies. And in seventh is going to be Jeff Sharp. Heat 1 is brought to you by Langton Mechanical. At Langton Mechanical, we are the second to none heating and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area, and promise our customers our own professionally trained Langton specialists will be there personally every step of the way. We guarantee your customer satisfaction from start to finish, including sales, installation, and maintenance service of your heating and or cooling system. Every equipment sale, installation, and maintenance service call we make is 100% backed by Langton. As I see the lights are out on the pace vehicle, we're getting ready to start the 360s Hometown Heroes from Lucas Oil Speedway. Out front to lead them to it is Jeff Barker. To his outside is Dan McLaren. Dan McLaren won the 305, so we'll see what he has in store here in the 360s.
Green.
As they get off, Dan McLaren gets a good jump on the outside. Cars on the inside get a little bit more sideways. I think than what they want to do. They are 3 wide coming off the corner. The top side seems to be it for the early goings, and then it switches to the bottom side as the top gets wore out. Dan McLaren once again out front, so followed by Joseph Grandy. And they are around there coming out of 2. That's going to shake things up a bit. That's going to give Steven Sipes third. Joseph Grandy now goes to the outside of Dan McLaren. Dan McLaren now falls back to second. Steven Sipes in third. Chris Schaefer in fourth. Jeff Sharp in fifth. Back at the back now, you got Brandon Dittmer and Jeff Barker. Out front, you still got Joseph Grandy as they look to catching the car at the rear of the pack of Jeff Barker in that 513. Dan McLaren trying to find his line that he needs to get around this track, similar to the way he did in the 305s, as that is your 305 winner of the evening. 2 to go here in heat number 1. Joseph Grandy out front, followed by Dan McLaren. Steven Sipes there in third. Chris Schaefer in fourth. Jeff Sharp in fifth. As they come around one more time, checker flag is out. Gonna be Joseph Grandy, Dan McLaren, Steven Spies. I keep calling it Sites, but it's Steven Spies. Chris Schaefer and Jeff Sharp are your top 5. Brandon Dittmer and Jeff Barker rounding out your field. As here are your finish results. as we get lined up for Heat 2. Heat 2 this evening is brought to you by Magnum Race Designs. Magnum Race Design offers iRacing wraps, hero cards, logos, flyers, and even t-shirt designs. If you're looking for a new design and you want attention to detail, competitive pricing, and fast turnaround times, come check Magnum Race Designs out on Facebook, where you can contact them directly through Messenger. Magnum Race Designs is proud to be the sponsor of the Coast2Coast Racing League's 358 division. So as we get set here for heat number 2, starting on pole is going to be Brian Moore Sr. Second is Pat Boyce. Third is Patrick Spangler. Fourth is going to be Brian Dickens. Fifth is Anthony Morano. Brandon Templeton there in 6th. And Gary Siegelkow out there in 7th. Gary Siegelkow had some trouble there in the 305s. We'll see if he can gather it up here in the 360s. Pace car is off. They will go green this time past the flag. That 558 of Brian Moore Sr. there in 1st. He finished 4th, I believe, in the 358 division. As they come out of turn 4, green flag is in the air as they head down into turn 1. 41 of Bat Boys got a good run on the outside. Gets tapped from behind from the 122 of Brian Dickens. Patrick Spangler got a nice jump on the start. Is out to an early lead. Brandon Templeton there in 4th. Now looking at 3rd position. Brandon Templeton and Pat Boyce get together there on the backstretch. Out front now we have Patrick Spangler. Brian Moore there in 2nd. Looks like he's going to get company from the 122. Brian Dickens. Anthony Morano there in 4th. Look at our 2nd place battle going on here as we've got Brian Moore there in 2nd and Brian Dickens in 3rd. 3 to go here in heat number 2. We got Brian and Brian here, 2nd and 3rd. Brian Moore and Brian Dickens. Which one's going to finish out in the 2nd position as we've got 2 to go. Coming around for the white flag this time. Brian's going to try to make a run at him down here into turn 4. Brian slides up, maybe too far, taps the outside wall, does a wheelie coming down the front stretch. Not sure who got which position yet, as that was a pretty close call coming across the lines. But looks like Dickens did get the 2nd position, wheelie and all, coming down the front stretch there at the end of that one. That is the end of heat 2. Here is your finish results. Patrick Spangler in 1st, Brian Dickens in 3rd. Brandon Moore in 3rd. Anthony Morano in 4th. Gary Siegelkow in 5th. Pat Boyce in 6th. Brian Templeton there in 7th. As we get set here for heat number 3. Heat number 3 is brought to you by the Salty Dogs Racing Team. The Salty Dogs Racing Team is composed of many of the senior members of the Coast2Coast Racing League and have been released from the home to create havoc and action on the track. Whenever 3 or more dogs are in a race, a dog bone will be awarded to the highest finisher. Thank you, Salty Dogs Racing Team, for the Heat 3. As lights are out on the pace car. Jeffrey Kemper is going to be out front there. We'll see if we can get our starting grid up here real quickly as they are going to be coming to the green. Jeffrey Kemper's 1st. Kyle Moonen is there in 2nd. Riley Burr in 3rd. Blake Chapman in 4th. Roger Craig 5th. Dean Reynolds 6th. John Morano in 7th. And they're going to be hitting the green flag this time coming out of the corner.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out. The 181 there is your pole sitter. Gets a little bit of a late jump, it seems, as they come out of the corner. The 181 gets into the 20 coming off the corner. Kyle Moonen is there out front. Riley Burr and Jeffrey Kemper are your 2nd and 3rd position cars as they come out of turn 2. Coming into turn 3, they're all single file front to back. Roger Craig there in 4th. Dean Reynolds in 5th. Kyle Moonen is out front. Jeffrey Kemper looks like he's getting a run on the 84 of Riley Burr. As we can see, some slick starting to wear into the track. The 747 of Roger Craig's looking in 4th position. 20 of Blake Chapman is starting to try to make his way back up through the field. Not sure there's enough time as there's 2 laps to go. Kylie Moonen way out in front for this one. Riley Burr there in 2nd. Jeffrey Kemper in 3rd. Roger Craig is now in 3rd as he gets by the 79 of Dean Reynolds, and the 181 is around. Not sure exactly what happened there, unless that was just the checker flag where he loses it coming to the flag. That might be what happened. We'll see. Nope, they got the checker flag, and he got into the wall. A tag coming into turn 1 after the flag. So all should be okay. We'll see our results here from heat number 3. As it comes up here, Kyle Moonen is first. Riley Burr in 2nd. Roger Craig in 3rd. Dean Reynolds in 4th. Blake Chapman in 5th. John Morano in 6th. And Jeffrey Kemper in 7th. Now going on to our Heat 4 grid. We have Dustin Sargent in 1st. Austin Marlott in 2nd. Ross Coyota. I don't know how to say it. Somebody's going to have to help me out. So we'll just call him Ross for now until I figure out how to say that last name. Is in 3rd. Bob DeGood is in 4th. Mark Gilbert is in 5th. Andrew Mbach is in 6th. And Jeff Flaro is in 7th. Looks like Dustin Sargent and Ross Corinata is didn't make the grid or something. Heat 4 is brought to you by 21 Designs. 21 Designs makes wraps for all your dirt racing needs. In addition, they also do 1/18 scale RC wraps. We appreciate everyone's support that has trusted in us doing their wraps and paints. Check us out on Facebook at 21 iRacing Designs.
Green flag.
Green flag is out, and I didn't quite get the camera where I needed it. The 20s, or 76, I'm sorry, is down in the turn 1. As they come up, 76 of Mark Gilbert is out front. It's 200 of Jeff Flaro is on the bottom. Austin Marlott is there in 2nd. Trying to make a run at it. The 7 of Bob DeGood now is in 3rd as he gets by the 200. 200 still fighting there on the top side. 7's there on the inside. Looks like we had a problem at the back of the pack. Not sure exactly what happened. Saying that we had some crash, I don't know where, but we have 4 to go. Mark Gilbert out in front. We've got Jeff Flaro in 2nd. Austin Marlott in 3rd. Bob DeGood is in 4th. Still looking to try to get in. 3 laps to go here in Heat 4. And the 76 looks like he got a little loose. That'll bring the Bob DeGood up into 3rd position. Austin Marlott into 2nd. Jeff Flaro out front now in that number 200. White flag coming around for the checker out of this turn. It's going to be Jeff Flaro in 1st. Austin Marlott in 2nd. Bob DeGood in 3rd. Andrew Mbach in 4th. And Mark Gilbert in the number 76 back in 5th position, I believe, or is what I saw there. We'll take a quick look at it. So here's your Heat 4 results. Jeff Flaro, Austin Marlott, Bob DeGood, Andrew Mbach, Mark Gilbert in 5th. Dustin Sargent in 6th, and Ross Cornata in 7th. Now we'll head to our consolation, our B main here this evening. It's going to be Jeff Sharp, Gary Siegelkow in 2nd, Blake Chapman in third, Mark Gilbert in fourth, Brandon Dittmer in fifth, Pat Boyce in sixth, John Morano in seventh, Dustin Sargent in eighth, Jeff Baker in ninth, Brandon Templeton in 10th, Jeffrey Kemper in 11th, and starting 12th is going to be Ross Cornata. And your B-Main is brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Gambler Motorsports is an esports racing team that competes weekly across the iRacing, has drivers entered in dirt races, sports, cars, asphalt oval. This year they will have drivers in the prestigious 24 Hours of Daytona and Le Mans. Go to Gambler Motorsports on Facebook and follow them. Coming to the green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
Gary Siegelcow gets a jump on the outside, but don't count that inside row out, as Siegelcow seems to have trouble. Gets tagged from the 76. Big time tag as he ends up into the outside wall and is around. Jeff Sharp out front. Blake Chapman there in second. 83 of Brandon Dittmer is in third. The 20 of Blake Chapman is looking to see if he can get around the 28 of Jeff Sharp. Mark Gilbert there in fourth. Pat Boyce in fifth. Back up front, we got Jeff Sharp. Got company from Blake Chapman, the number 20 there on the inside. Chapman goes, gets the slide. 28 goes back down underneath him. 7 to go here in your B main. 83 of Brandon Dittmer is there to the inside of the 20. Good racing up front. Alrighty, so we got the 20 of Blake Chapman there on the inside. Alrighty, looks like we're getting to the end of this one here with 4 laps to go as the 20 gets squeezed there by lap traffic. Lap traffic here, causing some problems. Blake Chapman now gets in front again of the 83 Brandon Dittmer. Brandon Dittmer there down to the inside of the 20. 2 laps to go. Blake Chapman still out front. Brandon Dittmer definitely putting the pressure on here in this one. The 76 of Mark Gilbert is out there in third. Jeff Sharp in fourth. Blake Chapman out front. Final lap. Checker flag waves for Blake Chapman. Your consolation, your C main results. Does that mean we'll have a B main? I'm not sure. We'll have to look into that. We might have C and B here. So your C main results are as follows. Nope. They're not showing us C main results. That's because there is no C main. So it was the B main. So B main is going to be Blake Chapman in first, Brandon Dittmer in second, Mark Gilbert in third, Jeff Sharp in fourth, Pat Boyce in fifth, and Jeff Barker sixth, Jeffrey Kemper in seventh, Gary Siegelcow in eighth, John Morano in ninth, 10th is going to go to Dustin Sargent, 11th is going to Brandon Templeton, and Ross Cornata is going to finish there in 12th. Enjoy the warm-ups, and I'll be right back. All right, we're getting ready here for our feature event. I forgot to mention Flatline Racing Bodies here during our intermission there in the warm-up. Quality racing bodies produced by former NASCAR regional short track champion Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. That is once again Flatline Bodies. Now on to our feature event here. We got our grid that we'll pull up here. Starting our 24th is going to be Gary Siegelcow. 23rd will be Jeffrey Kemper. And 22nd is going to be Jeff Barker. 21st is Pat Boyce. 20th goes to Jeff Sharp. Mark Gilbert in 19th. 18th is going to go to Brandon Dittmer. 17th is Blake Chapman. 16th is going to go to Andrew Mbach. 15th, Dean Reynolds. Anthony Morano there in 14th. Chris Schaefer in 13th. Roger Craig in 11th and Bob D. Good there in 12th. Brian Moore Sr. starting 10th. Starting 9th is going to be Steven Spies. 8th is Austin Morlott. Riley Burr is 7th. Brian Dickens in 6th. Dan McLaren in 5th. That's our previous 305 winner of the evening. Jeff Flaro in 4th. Kyle Modern is there in 3rd. Joseph Grandy started 2nd and Patrick Spangler out front. Patrick Spangler gets a good run off the high side. And they are around in turn 3 and 4. They are around. Not sure where that started from, but we're going to try to find out here. Coming into turn 3 and 4. Looks like the little bit sideways. Oh, it started ahead of Morano. Not sure exactly where. Morano was caught up in that. Quite a few drivers around. So that means we got to go back clear up here. This might be the Riley Burr crash. Starting with the 84 somewhere. The 84 gets down to the inside. Oh, the 88 goes around. That is your feature winner of the 305. Finds that tire and just collects everybody behind. As we get them all stacked up here. Your feature tonight is brought to you by the Super Dirt Car Series. Super Dirt Car Series. The Northeast Premier Series, showcasing the big block modified premier drivers from Florida to Canada. The Super Dirt Car Series visits some of the most exciting dirt tracks in front of the biggest crowd. Crowd-pounding, earth-shattering, window-rattling beast of the Northeast. We are back under green. Randy is out front in the 518. Kyle Moore there in 2nd. Patrick Spangler in 3rd. Sounds like there is a crash on the racetrack. Caution is out. We'll have to go back and see if we can figure out, decipher this one. Anthony Morano involved once again. As Anthony Morano gets a little sideways and gets collected from behind. Anthony Morano struggling a bit here in the 360s. As we re-rack them, we've only gotten through 3 laps. I want to give a shout out to the Coast to Coast Kids Club, brought to you by the We Let Dogs Out for You. As we're still here under caution. Coolray and Coast2Coast Racing League. If you are looking for other racers that enjoy racing without all the drama and name calling of normal iRacing, come out and join the Coolray Coast2Coast Racing League. We have 16 divisions that race 7 days a week and currently broadcast 9 divisions. Members know that they are a part of something bigger than just the on-track experience. Go to www.c2crl.com and click apply to join in the action. Cars are virtual, the racing is real. As we are back out front here again with Jeff. Why is Jeff Sharp labeled as the leader? I'm not sure, but Patrick Sprangler is out front of the pack. Joseph Grandy there in second. There we go. That cycled through. Not sure exactly what happened there, but Patrick Spangler is your leader. Joseph Grandy there in second. Kyle Moonen there in third. Brian Dickens in fourth. Got company on the outside from Jeff Flaro. Out front, Patrick Spangler. It looks like we've got Joseph Grandy. Got company from the 24. Kyle Moonen, who has now gotten that second spot away from Grandy. Looks like got traffic ahead. Or no, I'm sorry. That's the 39 of Patrick Sprangler. Out front, 24 to go. Caution is out. Gary Siegelcow is around. Take a look back, see what happened here. Not sure exactly what happened. Trying to get my replays to work. Looks like lap trap. Gary Siegelcow just comes down into him, gets loose coming out, and loses it right in front of the 76 of Mark Gilbert. The 83 of Brandon Dittmer is also around. How do we get him relined up here? Coast2Coast Racing Network. Come out and join us on the Coast2Coast Racing Network on YouTube and click subscribe to see all the Coast2Coast Racing League action. Join us for the Monday Night Madness from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern as Marty and SJRN bring you all the Rebels and Renegades action. Icon TV brings you Topless Tuesday action. Welcome Home Wednesdays feature the hometown heroes with Virtual Grip Network from Volusia Speedway. Extreme Speed TV brings you all the Thursday Night Thunder action, featuring the Dirt Modifieds and King of Dirt series. Icon TV comes back on Fridays and returns with the Icon Sim Sports Friday Night Lights, bringing you street stock, limited late models, and finishing with 360s. Catch all the action by subscribing to Coast2Coast Racing Network today. As we are getting set to come green once again, Patrick Spangler is out front. Joseph Grandy hung back there on the start, not sure why. Kyle Moonen now on the inside of Grandy, coming to turn 2, 3, and 4, as they're trying to come back. Looks like the 122 of Brian Dickens is getting in on the action out front. 24 gets a good run off the bottom there, it seems to be, as he's still side by side with Joseph Grandy there in the 158. Back a little farther, we got Joseph Flair and Blake Chapman battling side by side. Oh, no, that's Steven Spies making his way up through the field. Looks like we still have problems with Gary Siegelcow as he's back off the pace. Not sure exactly. He's going to get collected once again. Keep an eye on that. Everybody seems to get by pretty easily.
Caution, yellow flag.
Alrighty, we're back under caution once again. Looks like we have Kyle Moonen problems. As he gets a little, we'll see here. Gets into the outside wall. And then pulls it off the racetrack. So I'm not sure if that was the caution They're calling caution there, but I'm not exactly sure for what. Unless it was him coming back on the track. Not exactly sure why, though. Not quite sure why that caution flew. So we're going to go back live. I am going to get our replay area fixed, as that was the Flieger Farm Motorsports replay. We're going to get that fixed so it brings up Coast to Coast. Or for, since this is the Flieger Farm TV on the pole segment, that might be, it might be the on the pole replay, but we'll see how that plays out. Very pleased to bring this all to you this evening with the Coast to Coast Racing Network here on YouTube. If you like what you see, please subscribe to catch all the racing action here at Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Green.
39 of Patrick Spangler gets him out to a good start there on that restart. Joseph Grandy has got company from Brian Dickens in that 122. Steven Spies there in the 55 has got company from the 20, Blake Chapman, as he gets around him there on the inside. Blake Chapman moves up to fourth. Sets his sights now on Brian Dickens in that 122. Seeing if Blake Chapman has learned a little bit from the last race. As Joseph Grandy there in the 518, cautions back out on the speedway. 16 laps to go in this one. And this is saying that it's Dan McLaren again. See what happened to him coming into turn one. Nothing there. Not sure again what the caution is for. My caution flags aren't lining up for some reason on... There's your caution right there. Couple of them around. Looks to be the 83 up and over. As we now go back live, that was your replay. Try to catch all the live racing action as we can, as we are now about set to go back to green flag. Looking at the 518 there of Joseph Grandy, Patrick Spangler out in front with that number 39. Green flag is out. We're back underway. 20 of Blake Chapman's got his sights set on that 122 as he's looking to the inside, coming down the back stretch, back into turns 3 and 4. Trying to see if that bottom's got the momentum now as he dives it back down. 122 dives it in hard, had to let off as the 518 was there. Caution is back out on the speedway. Looks like it could be Andrew Mbach. As he gets a little squirrely, a little loose, gets into the corner, comes down, they collects on the 14, I believe that is. Or is that the 41? No, that's pretty sure that was the 14, or can't figure out which other car that was that got collected. I'll get better at this, not recognizing car numbers and drivers as I get used to the league here. As this is the Coolray Hometown Heroes Wednesday night here at Coast to Coast Racing League, brought to you on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Coast to Coast Speed Shop Driver of the Week. This is where iRacing meets real racing. There's much to see, so check out all the neat apparel and gifts of Coast to Coast Racing League and our partners. Go to Coast to Coast Go to C2CRL.com for more information. Pace car is off. We're coming out of turn 4. Patrick Spangler is bringing him to the flag. Got a good run coming down the front stretch. Joseph Grandy there in second. Blake Chapman still working on the inside of Brian Dickens, going down into turn 3 and 4. Looks like he lost his line for a moment, getting it back. Brian Dickens there trying to make his way around the 518 of Joseph Grandy, looking to the outside of Joseph Grandy, coming out the back stretch. Patrick Spangler there out front, net number 39. Not quite being able to get around him. Now he's going to the inside. Going to the inside of the 518, going into turns 3 and 4. The 20 is also right there. So will the 518 hold on for a podium this time, or will he be swallowed up again this race? Looks like Blake Chapman's got a run at him on the bottom side, and the 122 of Brian Dickens is there right on his back bumper. As we are now under 10 to go with 9 to go. Joseph Patrick Spangler out front. Looks like we still got a tight battle here for second, third, and fourth. As the 518 is trying to hold him off, as the 122 catches the outside wheel of the 518. 122 goes up high, 520's down on the inside, gets a run, does not quite have the momentum to make it stick, but does he have the drive off? Looks like he might. He's got the drive off, so now the 122 now is looking to get by the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Blake Chapman there now in second, looking to see if he can run down the leader of Patrick Spangler, but he's running out of time with 6 laps to go. Caution is out, so that's going to help Blake a little bit, and that's going to reel in Patrick Spangler. Not quite what Spangler wanted to see. Looks like Austin Marlotte there. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Austin Marlotte had problems. Up into the outside wall, most likely. Gets a run, had to dive down, ends up sliding into the corner too hard. Collects the yellow and red. That's the yellow and red. I'm going to say 558 of Brian Moore. While we're under caution here, I'll read another one of our sponsors here. Check out the Coast2Coast Racing School, where our league's top drivers have volunteered to help the league drivers improve their driving skills free of charge. They will be offering help on various skill sets such as qualifying, driving lines, driver awareness, and setup advice. Go to C2CRL.com to schedule a session today. As the pace car is off once again, we are getting ready to have our shootout here for the finish with 5 laps to go when they take the flag. Will Chapman have something for the leader? As Spangler is away, Chapman there in second. Chapman down to the inside, trying to find something there on the bottom. The 518 is on that tail tank. Couple cars getting collected there in the back. As they get back up to speed here, Spangler out in front. Chapman is trying to make something happen, but just does not quite seem to have the same drive off early that the 39 of Spangler does. The 122 of Brian Dickens looking to try to get past the 518 with 3 laps to go. He's going to the outside. Nothing there, so he's going to try to own down back to the bottom, I'm sure, here at some point, with Chapman looking to try to get around the 39. I'm not sure if he's gaining ground or not. We'll go ahead and take a look at that gap. Looks like there's about a half-second gap between first and second position. Brian Dickens is right there on the tail tank of the 518. See if the 518 can hold on to a podium finish as the 122 connects. Checkered flag is out as they come out of turn 4. Patrick Spangler is going to cross the line first. Blake Chapman second. Joseph Grandy will take third. Brian Dickens fourth. Steven Spies in fifth. The rest of your feature grid is going to be, once it comes up here, rest of your night is going to look like is Patrick Spangler in first, Blake Chapman in second, Joseph Grandy in third, Brian Dickens in fourth, Steven Spies there in fifth, Jeff Flero in sixth, Roger Craig in seventh, Kyle Moonen in eighth, Dean Reynolds in ninth, Brian Moore Sr. 10th, Jeff Barker 11th, Chris Schaefer 12th, Pat Boyce 13th, Bob the Good and 14th, Jeff Sharp 15th, Riley Burr 16th, 17th is going to go to Andrew and Bach, 18th is Anthony Morano. Finishing out, we got Austin Martin in 19th, Dan McLaren 20th, Gary Siegelkow 21, Jeffrey Kemper finishing in 22nd, Brandon Dittmer in 23rd, and finishing out your feature tonight in the 360 Hometown Heroes as Mark Gilbert. Now let's head over to Victory Lane, where we will get with our drivers. Where we'll get with the drivers here. In the... What the heck did I do here? Yeah, I got things so out of order. Bear with me, Coolray. The Coolray Victory Lane. Coolray's goal is to make sure that Ray's tradition of 100% customer satisfaction lives on today. Coolray is proud of their reputation of providing excellent service to homeowners and businesses alike in Georgia. Their mission is to continue to build long-lasting relationships in their customers through their winning spirit and commitment to 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Now, as we get into Victory Lane here, we'll check with our top 3 finishers of the evening in the 360 Hometown Heroes. Starting off, we'll start with Joseph Grandy, our third place finisher. Joseph Grandy, you got a copy of me. It's Adam here in the booth.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Wasn't sure if you were going to hold on to the third spot this race.
Lucky that's all. Whoever was behind me was right on me the whole time, and just kind of playing defense.
I saw you playing defense there for a good bit. I do think you ran the 3 of 5s also and kind of lost some spots in that race, but good to see you got the podium here.
There was a wreck in the turn, and I ended up being the victim of it. I like the track. It's fun. It's nice and racy. I'm not really good at super slick tracks. I'm still learning on it, but
well, one advantage you have to this track is not a lot of drivers haven't quite had the track time at this track, being that this track's only been iRacing for 2 weeks. So
yes, exactly.
So, any sponsors you want to thank?
No, just I appreciate you for picking up the broadcast here. I'd like to thank Coast to Coast for having me.
I'm sure it's a pleasure. And it's a pleasure for me bringing it to you. I'm really enjoying myself.
Appreciate it.
Alrighty.
Hopefully, the next race.
Alrighty. We'll see. Good luck.
Good luck. Thanks.
Alrighty. Now we'll move up. We'll move into our second place finisher, Blake Chapman. All right, Blake, how's it going again?
It's going pretty good, Adam.
You're having a pretty decent night on your hands.
Yeah, I'd say so for sure so far. 15th, the third in the first race, second, 17th, the second in the 360s here, and felt like the car felt pretty dialed in, and nobody else was running right down by the tires, so I was able to get around guys that way. And I was really hoping I didn't see that last caution, see if Patrick would have went down low, and just without that caution, and I knew since the caution came out, he would go down and protect, and that's what he did. And felt like I was just as fast as him down here, just didn't have enough time.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like he was much better on the restarts, but as the long run, seemed like he struggled just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. The leader definitely has a big advantage on the restarts on this track because when it gets that slick, there's really no grip around, and knowing when you're going to go is really a huge advantage here on this track.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it was a lot of fun out there, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely some close calls, though, that's for sure. Definitely towards the start of the race, but sometimes you just got to get lucky, like I said in that last race, and just avoiding some of that stuff and being able to work through the field. It was pretty fun, though.
Wow, do you think you're going to take another podium next race?
I don't plan on running the next one.
Okay.
Maybe, hopefully next week.
Okay. All righty. Well, good luck to you next week. Maybe we'll talk to you then. And any different sponsors you want to thank for your podium here in your second place finish here at the 360s?
Yeah, of course, parents, grandparents, everybody watching and supporting, all the boys down at the Kreitzim Racing Team and Can-Am Racing Team, Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. Head over to their website, galensgourmetpopcorn.com. Use code CART, C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off some of their delicious popcorn. I got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps for making all my cars look pretty, and I got to thank you for putting this broadcast on.
I appreciate it. I'm sure they all appreciate the screen time too, so good luck in your next races, whatever that might be.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. You take care. I'll bring our winner, Patrick Spangler, in. Good evening, Patrick. You got a copy of me?
Yep, I gave it.
All right. Am I saying your last name correctly as Spangler?
Yep.
All righty. Just want to make sure I'm not butchering too many names out there. You look really good out front there. Not too much problems.
Yeah, got lucky in the heat race there with them taking top two guys out, so then just started second in the feature and just had to keep it clean off the inside tractor tires.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate night there. But, you got to take a little bit of luck whenever it's given to you.
Yeah, hopefully I can carry that to the big blocks. We'll see. Keep it rolling here. Get the momentum going.
That's right. Get the momentum behind you. Any sponsors you want to thank for your top podium finish here?
Just Train Wheels Racing. You put on the broadcast here. Roger for Run the League, and I'm back on.
Alrighty. So you're running the next race as well. Keep an eye out for you. Maybe you can try to get a podium in that one as well.
All right, let's try for the trifecta here.
Alrighty.
I'll talk to you later.
Alrighty. That was Patrick Spangler there, your feature winner of your Hometown Heroes 360s this evening. As we get set to move on to the Hometown Heroes big blocks.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
In our industry. The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Coast2Coast Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever.
And I'm not talking. Once again, way to go me. So you didn't hear any of that. So real quickly, I'll run through it again. Tim Chapman Racing for the pre-race shows tonight. A&J Custom Creations, all about tie-dye, brought you the standings that I'm going to have to really quickly read through the top 15 again. Charles Meyer first, Dean Reynolds second, Kyle Moonen third, Michael Vitale fourth, Jeffrey Barker tied for fifth with Randy Shreves, Brandon Lawson seventh, Mark Gilbert eighth, John Hain ninth, tied with Brandon Templeton. Kevin Fry and Nicholas Vickery are tied for 11th, Joseph Grandy in 13th, Anthony Morano 14th, and Christopher Robley in 15th, tied with Gary Sigelkow. Those are your top 15th in the Hometown Heroes Big Block Series. So that is your standings as at this point in the game. ABR Sound Shops is here for your qualifying session. With more than 7 years of iRacing experience and 3-time iRacing World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series World Champion, Alex Bergeron is your coach and your setup builder for iRacing. As we get into Heat 1 here, we'll look at our starting grid. Heat 1 is brought to you by Langton Mechanical. At Langton Mechanical, we are the second to none heating and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area, and promise our customers our own professionally trained Langton specialist will be there personally every step of the way. We guarantee your customer satisfaction from start to finish, including sales, installation, and maintenance service of your heating and or cooling system. Every equipment sale, installation, and maintenance service call we make is backed 100% by Langton. So we are about to go green. We're going to show our starting grid here. Anthony Morano in first, Brian Lawson second. Kurt Schartzer will start third. Jeff Sharp will start fourth. Roger Craig in fifth, and Dan McLaren there in sixth. See if Dan McLaren has anything here in the big blocks. I think that's who was in the 305. We'll double check with that as I keep seeing that 88 pop up. We'll give a little bit of a shout out to the Ace Design. I think that's what it is. If I can just find the dang. I'll get this up. Yeah, it's right here in front of my face. The Ace Design drone for the start of this feature.
Green.
I can get there. Ace Design and 3D provide rendering similar to what iRacing does for their NASCAR Coke Series. They will provide a free rendering to the winner of each week's Hometown Heroes 305. So the winner of the 305 race tonight did receive a free rendering. As we are looking down from the Ace Design drone, as we go around the racetrack here, 4 to go. Brian Lawson out front, Anthony Morano there in second. As we head into turn 3 and 4, I believe this is. I am correct. The 18, or 218, I'm sorry, of Kurt Schatzer is the 18. So the 18 of Kurt Schatzer is there on the bottom side. Looks like it's got a real tiny 2 on it that I can't fully make out. Took second away. Jeff Sharp's looking to take third away from Anthony Morano. 2 to go. Brian Lawson out front. Got company from Kurt Schatzer. Jeff Sharp there in third. Schatzer there on the bottom side as they come off of the corner. Final lap. Coming down the backstretch into turn 4. Will Schatzer have anything coming off the corner? Drag race to the finish line. It is going to be Brian Lawson. Kurt Schatzer there in second. Jeff Sharp in third. Anthony Morano will take fourth. Roger Craig in fifth. And Dan McLaren there in second. So your finishing results, I'll throw them up real quickly here. So you can read through them real quickly. Brian Lawson, Kurt Schatzer, Jeff Sharp, Anthony Morano, Roger Craig, Dan McLaren as your 6 drivers from your Heat 1. Heat 2, your starting grid is Patrick Spangler, Dean Reynolds, Michael Vitale, Brandon Templeton, Gary Sigelkow, and Jeffrey Kemper. Heat 2 is brought to you by the Magnum Race Designs. Magnum Race Designs offers iRacing wraps, hero cards, logos, flyers, and even t-shirt designs. If you're looking for a new design and want your attention to detail, competitive pricing, and fast turnaround times, check out Magnum Race Design on Facebook, where you can contact them directly through Messenger. Magnum Race Design is the proud sponsor of the Coast2Coast Racing League's 358 Modified Division. Well, we'll see if we can catch the drone cam.
Green. Green flag, green flag.
What? All right. Hopefully I'm not muted anywhere. I'm hoping everybody's hearing me just fine. Sorry if I was muted. I'm still trying to run things here as smoothly as I can. We still got a minute warm up here. I'll read off another thing here. I find something decent here to tell everyone about. We want to give a shout out to Chip Banger Racing for the hard chargers. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Not sure I have. Oh, there we go. Alrighty, sponsoring the pace truck tonight is sponsored by the Steve King Foundation. Sorry that I haven't mentioned them before this. The Steve King Foundation was formed to help the dirt track racing community across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, racing officials, track operations personnel, or the immediate families of those individuals who suffer serious illness, injury, or death. We want to thank the Steve King Foundation for helping Racing family, the Steve King Foundation helping racing families heal. I'm sorry again if you hear me coughing. That's just because I'm still getting problems with allergies at this moment in time. As we get ready for our feature, your feature this evening is brought to you by Magnum Race Design. I believe it's what, if I've got it correct. Or do I not? No, I'm sorry. It's presented by Colroy. I'm sorry. I can figure out where. Not up where it is. Oh no, I'm sorry. No. Scratch that again. It's sponsored by the Dirt Car Series, the Super Dirt Car Series, the Northeast Premier Series showcasing the Dirt Big Block Modified premier drivers from Florida to Canada. The Super Dirt Car Series visits some of the most exciting dirt tracks in front of the biggest crowds. The crowd-pounding, earth-shattering, window-rattling beasts of the Northeast. It's the Super Dirt Car Series. And on to our feature. Our feature lineup, I'm going to try to go through it as quickly as I can. Looks like we've got 17 drivers. Lawson starts on pole. Reynolds there in second. Randy in third. Schartzer in fourth. Vitelli fifth. Barker sixth. Sharp seventh. Spangler eighth. DeGood there in ninth. Anthony Morano in 10th. Brandon Templeton in 11th. Pat Boyce there in 12th. Let's see if we can... Oh, nope. Oh, the grid has gone away. So I got your top 12 drivers there read off. Sorry that I didn't get the rest of the field read off. As Dean Reynolds is out in front, followed by the 218 of Kurt Schartzer, the 9 of Brian Lawson there on the inside, getting a little tight there coming off the corner. As they're all battling positions, the 9 gets up into the 218, 213 of Michael Vitelli there on the inside. Mayhem's happening behind them. As Anthony Morano, Gary Sigelcal, the 88 of Dean McLaren is involved. Jeff Sharp, Patrick Spangler, and Jeffrey Kemp all involved in that. I'm sorry, Jeffrey Kemper did not take the green. So that'll be, we'll go back and relook at that all unfold as we come out of the corner here. You can see there behind, Vitelli gets a good run off the corner. Behind him, the 39 gets sideways from Morano or somebody tags, and it's just mayhem. Cars everywhere. They're coming into turn 3. Dean Reynolds still out front, followed by Brian Lawson, Kurt Schatzer there in third, Jeffrey Barker fourth, Michael Vitelli in fifth, Joseph Grandy there in sixth. Pat Boise there in seventh.
Green flag, green flag. The yellow flag is out.
Oh, here I am talking again and nobody can hear me.
Green flag, green flag.
And they are away. Dean Reynolds out front. Ryan Lawson there in second. Kurt Schatzer in third. Looking to the inside to go underneath Brian Lawson here into turns 1 and 2. Coming off turn 1 and 2. Drag race down the backstretch. There he comes. Schatzer looked like he had a run on the inside as he pulls ahead a little bit. Lawson's not wanting him to give up that spot too easily as they come back around 1 and 2. As they're getting a run on Dean Reynolds there in the number 1 spot. 218 of Kurt Schatzer there on the inside, still holding it down there as he's looking to possibly get underneath the 79 of Dean Reynolds. A little far back, we got battles going on. Brian Lawson caught the wall there getting into 3 and 4. 3 and 4. The 218 now sets his sights on the 79 of Dean Reynolds coming down the backstretch. We want to go and have our Ace Design and 3D drone back out there again with us as we see the 218 trying to make a run out at the 79. All right, and sorry for the background noise. I do want to try to cut that out some. So hopefully that's we're working here. The 18 definitely has the run there on the bottom side, it looks like, as we're still battling 20 to go. The 9's now looking to the inside of the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Going to be interesting how this one finishes off, as we definitely got some top competitors here out front. We get back down track side here with the 218 still underneath the 79 of Dean Reynolds. The 9 looking in. See if there's anything action going back here as we've got an action-packed field here tonight. 518 is looking to get underneath the 513 of Jeff Barker. Drag race down the backstretch. Still a battle out front. It looks like the 9 has finally found a way around the 79 of Dean Reynolds. As the 9 now is setting his sights back on to the 218 of Kurt Schatzer. Schatzer out front with this one still. 17 to go. Schatzer still trying to hold that low line. Well, Lawson's taking the high road. Lawson now goes low. Trying to force the 218 high. They stay off of one another coming out of turn 4. Lawson's now trying to force him up the track, but does not have the momentum down there on the bottom to drive off. Has to fall back in line on the high side. Dean Reynolds still just kind of holding his own back there in third. Michael Vitale there in fourth, trying to make some headway on the Dean Reynolds. As the 518 is getting by the 513 of Jeff Barker, trying to see if he's got some grip there left on the bottom for him. As they are drag racing down the front stretch, down into turn 1. 518's got a good drive off on the back stretch. Doesn't he have enough to finally get around the 513? Caution is out on the speedway. Brandon Templeton. Brandon Templeton goes to the outside of Gary Siegelkow, and not sure exactly what happened there. We'll see if we can get a different angle here of it. And we're not sure what happened here. Coming through the corner. Not sure if he got stalled or what, but just ends up putting it into the outside wall. So I'm going to see one. Dean Reynolds Schatzer out front, Lawson in third. Reynolds there. Come on now. Schatzer in first, Lawson in second. Reynolds in third. Vitelli there in fourth. See if Vitelli can stay with Reynolds on the restart here. We want to thank Ace Designs in 3D for the drone coverage here this evening. Ace Designs in 3D provide renderings similar to what iRacing does for their NASCAR Coke series. They will be providing a free rendering to the winner of each week's Hometown Heroes 305s. As we're back green, looks like Vitelli's trying to make a run at the 79, and the 79 gets a good run, trying to get back up there to Brian Lawson. Kurt Schatzer out front. Brian Lawson there in second. Dean Reynolds in third. Vitelli in fourth. Looks like he might get company from the 513, Jeff Barker. And the 88 of McLaren is there trying to make some ground as he loses that spot to the 518, Joseph Grandy. 3 wide back here at the back. And McLaren gets into the wall. Vitelli's still there in fourth. Reynolds there in third. Lawson second. Schatzer out there in front in the lead. Back here, check on McLaren again as they come into turn 3 and 4. Close battling. Looks like they might go 3 wide. No, they're not going to push. Well, they might push it 3 wide. Here into turn 1 and 2. They touch. The 38 gets pushed up. The 88 goes down there on the bottom. Michael Vitelli still safely there in fourth. Dean Reynolds in third. Lawson second. Kurt Schatzer in first. Looking like Lawson's going to try to get a run at him, though, here as this thing winds down with 6 laps to go. 218's just trying to make sure he can stay out in front. There is the yellow flag once again. Looks like Jeff Sharp is the cause of this one. Coming into turns 1 and 2. Coming off. As he tags the 39, and he goes around down into the infield, and the 39 catches the tire and goes over.
Who did you see salute like that?
As you see here, we'll watch the 39 here coming into the corner, gets a little low, and just catches that tractor tire up and over. Barrel rolls off for the nose of the 747. All right, back to the live action now. We've got the 218 of Kurt Schatzer out front. The 9 of Brian Lawson in second. Dean Reynolds in the 79 there in third. The 213 of Michael Vitelli in fourth. 513 of Jeff Barker there in fifth. Those are your top 5. We want to give a shout out again to our pace truck, the Steve King Foundation. The Steve King Foundation was formed to help the dirt track racing community across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, racing officials, track operations personnel, or the immediate families of those individuals who suffer serious illness, injury, or death. We again want to give a shout out to the Steve King Foundation, helping racing families heal. As pace truck is off, we're coming out of turn 4. This time, Kurt Schatzer is going to lead them to the green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out. They're underway. 79 of Dean Reynolds there looking to the inside, trying to see if he can get around Lawson or get a run at Lawson. They're 3 wide once again behind Vitelli. And Vitelli's looking to try to make a run at Lawson. Not sure if he's going to have something for him or not, as he's down there on the bottom side. Top side is coming, though, with the 513 of Jeff Barker. And behind them is the 88 of Dan McLaren, and the 518 of Joseph Brandy are the cars fighting right there behind Vitelli, trying to getting into that top 5. Dean Reynolds is still looking to see if he can make some ground up on the 9. 2 to go here in this feature. Kurt Schatzer out front, followed by Lawson. Last lap this time as they come across the stripe. There is the white flag right there, waving in the air. Schatzer out front, Lawson there in second, Dean Reynolds there in third. That could be exactly how your podium finish out, as long as nobody screws up coming through turns 3 and 4. There's the 18 across the 9 and the 79. Those are your feature winners. We want to thank you for joining us for the Hometown Heroes Big Block Series this evening. As we head off to Victory Lane, trying to find out where my, you've heard me say it all night, so I'm sure it's here somewhere, but we're going to try to keep this moving. And I'm not sure where that ended up. Sure it's here, I just don't know quite where. So we're going to head to Victory Lane now and get our interviews with the drivers. We'll see who we got sitting here currently. Looks like we have Dean Reynolds, which is your third place finisher. Dean Reynolds, you there?
What's going on, Adam? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Great action on the track tonight. Definitely not disappointing, that's for sure.
Well, you don't want to start on the pole and finish third, so I actually am disappointed a little bit. I mean, Kurt and Brian, they earned it. They found the groove on the bottom to work. Me and Kurt was side by side there for a while, and then I just missed my entry a little bit, and he was able to do a slider. It was totally a clean slider, and Brian got me as well, and hats off to them. And then I just tried to change up my lanes and see if I can stay with him or catch him. And I think the last 3 laps I found something. But you know what? Still a podium, and we got to talk to you. And man, thanks for picking up the broadcast, dude. That's cool.
Well, I'm enjoying doing it. I hope maybe there's more broadcasts in the future for me. But I know at least 2 more weeks, I believe, if I'm understanding my contract right.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I appreciate doing this because, I'm here for one more Wednesday night next week, and then I got a couple weeks off. But, when we get done, we always like to watch the broadcast, and I was glad you came in and did it. So thank you, man.
I appreciate it. You can't do it without the drivers, though. So, I mean...
Well, that's true. We can't do it without the league. Roger and the gang do a great job at Coast to Coast, and I'm a sponsor with it as well, and I really enjoy it, and I enjoy the guys I race with, and hats off to Kurt and Brian. I mean, they earned it tonight. I just, hate to lose that lead and get third, but I'm going to take it, learn, and see if I can get it next week.
I don't know if there's a racer out there that says that's never happened to them.
Oh, this is true. No, that's how you learn.
It is. Even the pros, they make the simple mistakes too, where, miss one entrance and there's your race.
Oh yeah, and this game is a lot like real life too. I mean, it's all about your entry, it's all about your exit, and I was wondering where I could pick up the gap between them and lose, and I'm also wondering where I'm losing, and it's a lot like real life. I've raced a little bit in real life, and there's a lot of similarities.
Well, I'm glad that you come out and joined us tonight. You got any sponsors you want to thank?
Well, first of all, I want to thank the guys from Full Throttle Motorsports. I'm part of a team now, and they help me out a lot, improve my driving. I got to say thanks to Swan Speed Shop. So when I do run an open setup event, I put a Swan Speed Shop set in. My job, Super Dirt Car Series. VMR Wraps, Nick Vickery and Lance Ripka did a great job with his purple plum crazy car. Also got to thank Brian Lawson from Magnum Designs, Race Designs, because he does a lot of my cars as well. And thanks to Coast and Flieger Farming, Adam, for coming aboard and doing the telecast.
I enjoy it. Flieger Farm has got quite a few things going on for us tonight. So tonight's the Flieger Farm TV, but there's also that Flieger Farm paint shop floating around also that's out there. So,
yeah, you see the Discord whenever you got a new car. You seem like you do a new car every week. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it works. So,
yeah, good deal.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you in the future, and
thank you, man.
Have a great night.
You too.
All righty, we're going to bring in our second place finisher now. Brian Lawson.
My day.
You there, Brian?
Hey, Adam, I can't hear you, buddy.
You can't hear me.
Hold on a second. Okay, now I got you.
Alrighty, how'd you think of the track?
Track was good. I mean, with not a lot of cars tonight, it didn't really slick off that much. So, you know, we had a good amount of grip pretty much the whole race.
Now, whenever I logged into the session, did I see right that this is a mix between 358s and big blocks, or is it mainly big blocks?
Yeah, you have the choice, but I think most people, there might have been one or two, I'll have to go back and check, but I think most people go with the big block. You know, especially the heat races are so darn important in these to get a decent starting position. And during the heat races, the track's still got a lot of grip, and with the big block, you've got more horsepower that you can get to the track and get it to stick. So, you know, with a 358, you might be okay in the main event, but in the heat race, you're going to be at a disadvantage.
All righty, well, sounds like you've tried both possibly, or know about the cars enough that you know which one to choose per track.
Yeah, I think, you know, I mean, for Hometown Heroes, it's the same track every week, so, you know, it'll probably be big blocks every week. There was something different between last season and the season before. The season before, on the quarter-mile tracks like Limaland, Fairbury, you could go with a 358 and be very competitive. But they made a change. Our racing made a change to something, and it didn't seem to work last season, so I just started sticking with the big blocks when I had the choice, and I figured that's gonna, you know, if anything, it's gonna make me better at throttle control and better at car control, and so I just keep sticking with the big block.
Well, congrats on your second place podium finish here tonight. You got any sponsors you want to thank?
Absolutely. You for putting on the broadcast. Thanks for coming on last minute. Coast2Coast Racing League for doing such a great job. Magnum Race Design. Anybody needs a wrap, hit us up on Facebook at Magnum Race Design. My guys at Venom Racing, always there for me, always a great bunch to hang out with, and looking forward to meeting up with a few of them at Super Dirt Week in a couple weeks. Super Dirt Car Series, Gears Unlimited, and family and friends watching.
Oh, great job tonight. We'll see you next week, possibly.
Actually, I'm out of town next week on business, so I'm going to have to miss a week next week. But,
alrighty, so you're taking a provisional then, per se.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I'll be back the next week.
Alrighty, well, good luck to you.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
You too. Now we'll bring in our winner, Kurt Schatzer. I believe I'm saying that name right. Kurt, you got can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Alrighty. Am I saying your last name right, of Schatzer?
Yep, Schatzer.
Alrighty. I think I butchered a couple names tonight, but I'm hoping not many. Congrats on the top podium finish, though.
Yeah, thanks.
Definitely seemed like Reynolds wanted to be up there with you, but he messed up one entrance, and that seemed to be about all it wrote for him.
Yeah, we had a good run side by side. It was a lot of fun there. I wasn't sure the bottom was going to go away on me, so I guess luckily he made a mistake there. I was able to slide up and take the line away from him, and managed to hold on there and get the win.
You definitely look good out there running that big block.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't run the big blocks a whole lot, but the cars seem to be pretty stable for me. Just just watch the throttle a little bit and throttle control.
Well, congrats on the top podium. You got any sponsors or anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank the team, Hammer Down Racing, Brandon Templeton, Brian Dickens, Joe Halter, sponsors, Got Your Six Racing Network, Dirt Track Bank, VMR Wraps, you guys doing the broadcast, and Roger giving us a place to race.
Oh, we definitely want to thank you.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Congrats on your win. That was Kurt Schatzer, your podium winner this evening in the big blocks here at Lucas Oil Speedway for the Hometown Heroes. Brought to you by the Cool Ray. So stay tuned. We will be heading to a veterans race next to finish off our Hometown Heroes night.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
leader in our industry.
I'm sitting there chatting and nothing's been heard, I don't think. So, I'm sorry for that if I've been chatting here and nobody's been able to hear me. That'll be a problem that I hope to fix in the future. But our point standings for the night are Jeffrey Baker in first, Joe Halter is second, Mark Gilbert third, Andrew Embach in fourth, Christopher Schaefer in fifth, Patrick Spangler there in sixth. As we see our grid coming up now, we have Lance Ripka in first, Andrew Embach in second, third will be Jeff Barker, fourth is Patrick Spangler. We want to thank all these veterans and first responders for all they do out in their communities and for the country. So as we go through here, I'm going to quickly go through what I missed here at the beginning. Our standings were brought to you by All About Tie-Dye and AJ Custom Creations, located in Liberty, Missouri. All About Tie-Dye is the official tie-dye of the Coast2Coast Racing League. And then the qualifying session was brought to you by the ABR Setup Shop. With more than 7 years of experience and 3-time iRacing World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series World Champion Alex Bergeron is your coach and your setup builder for iRacing. ABR Setup Shop offers weekly official race setups, custom setup requests for your specific races, and most importantly, one-on-one coaching sessions. As we get into our feature race here, I think we've got 30 laps to go here. 4 drivers, tight racing. The 39 of Patrick Spangler, they're in third. Looking to the inside now of the 410, Andrew Embach. Looking to the inside also of Lance Ripka as he's trying to make a 2-for-1 as he's going through, but Lance Ripka goes down to the bottom to take the bottom side away. The 410 gets a little loose coming out of turn 4. Coming through 1 and 2 now. Patrick Spangler goes to the outside, hoping to make that stick. Now we'll go to our drone cam here for the night. Brought to you by. If I get them to give me the drone cam, there we go. Ace Design and 3D provide rendering similar to what iRacing does for their NASCAR Coke Series. They will be providing a free rendering to the winner of each week's Hometown Heroes 305. So the winner of tonight's 305 series that you would have seen earlier in tonight's broadcast, they will receive a free rendering. As we're looking on top there of the 410, Andrew Embach as it goes to the outside of the 125, Lance Ripka. Patrick Spangler has gone way out in front. Kind of said, good night, I'll see you at the finish line kind of thing. Andrew Embach has now tried to fight his way back along the top side. Around Andrew Embach. 22 to go here. Don't think there are going to be any problems finishing this one. Jeffrey Barker there in fourth. Lance Ripka is still trying to make that bottom side work here at the Lucas Oil Speedway. With Patrick Spangler way out in front now. He can almost set it on cruise control for the time being. 410 of Andrew Embach here in second, followed by Lance Ripka as those two are trying to battle for second and third position. Lance Ripka was up there but has fallen back some now. Now he's going to try to battle his way back up. See if he can find some traction somewhere out on that track. As it looks like the track has slicked off quite a bit. Patrick Spangler again way out in front. We'll go ahead and take a look at our gap. 410 Embach there in second. Is about almost 2 3/4 seconds back behind. Now he's 3 seconds back. As Spangler extends that lead. Andrew Embach there got probably a good second gap over him in third place, Lance Ripka. Jeff Barker's trying to make something happen on the bottom side to catch up to try to get a podium spot. 15 to go here in the veterans and first responders 360s for the evening. On this Wednesday Hometown Heroes segment of Coast to Coast Racing Network, we are so glad to be bringing it to you. So glad Flicker Farm TV with the episodes of On the Pole can bring it to you. We spent all morning getting the studio and everything ready for it for this evening, so we were happy that everything went off without a problem. Patrick Spangler has now increased the lead to almost 5 seconds. Coming around for 10 to go. There's second place. Kind of see here, we'll bring up the track map just to go and give a little bit of a show here on where they're at. If the thing will show up, not sure why my track map's not showing up, but it is not wanting up to that tonight apparently. Certain things are working for me, certain things aren't, so we'll just hide that back away. I'm not sure where the track map ended up. Definitely tried to keep everything rolling as best we could tonight. Not too much interruptions or downtime between the series. As we're looking at the 25 of Lance Ripka as he's losing ground on Mbach. Spangler's looking to try to catch Barker now at the tail end of the field with 5 laps to go. I'm sorry, 6 laps to go. That looks to be Barker right there out in front of him. Beautiful Marines painted ride there for that 513 of Jeff Barker. Really like the way that's done up. Lance Ripka in the VMR paint. We got Andrew Mbach there in the 410. 39 of Patrick Spangler gets a little high. Getting up onto that flat area. Not sure if the flat area is where you want to be. There should be a lip going right around the top side of that before you hit the flat. 3 to go this time by. Patrick kind of lay off. Doesn't look like he wants to. As he's looking to the inside of the 513. We'll see if he just lets them be here at the end. 2 to go in the Hometown Heroes Wednesday nights. This will be your last race of the evening. Glad to be part of it with Jeffrey Spangler coming across the finish line in yet another win here this evening. Andrew Mbach in second and Lance Ripka there in third. The Victory Lane is brought to you by Coolray Heating and Air Conditioning. Coolray's goal is to make sure that Ray's tradition of 100% customer satisfaction lives on today. Coolray is proud of their reputation of providing excellent service to homeowners and businesses in Georgia. Their mission is to continue to build long-lasting relationships with their customers through their winning spirit and commitment to 100% satisfaction guaranteed. So we'll go and interview the top 3. We'll see what they have to say. See if any of them come up into the waiting room. As it was a great racing tonight. Really enjoyed myself. See if any of them come up for interviews here at the end of the night here. There is Andrew Mbach. He is your second place finisher. We'll go ahead and pull him up. Good evening there, Andrew.
Hey, how's it going?
You're going great. You got yourself a podium here this evening.
Yeah, it was a pretty fun race, actually.
Yeah, I just don't think anybody had anything for Spangler tonight.
No, I had seen him there in the beginning of the race. He kept turning faster numbers than me. About the time I knew it, I couldn't even see him as I was coming around the end of each corner. So he was far behind, or far ahead of me, probably about half a lap, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was a good 7 seconds, about 8 seconds ahead of you.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure quite what lap times you guys were turning, but do you have anybody you want to thank?
I definitely want to say thanks for you jumping in here tonight. I want to give a shout out to Vanderpool Racing. I just got brought on with those guys. They've treated me well since I joined them. They got me that sweet wrap on the car tonight. I was racing a different wrap before that and just got that one finished up. So I'd like to thank them and just thanks to Coast to Coast.
We're proud to be able to be a part of it.
All righty. Thanks, Adam.
And thank you. Alrighty, we'll go and pull in our third place finisher of Lance Ripka. I can grab a hold. Come on now. Why aren't you letting me do what I want to? There we go. All right, Lance, you got a copy?
I do. How's it going?
Oh, going pretty good. Kind of just look like you guys were just practicing out there, as spread out as you guys got.
Yeah, it's first time back on dirt and in a sprint car in probably 4 months, so I thought this was a perfect race to get into.
Looked like you might have found something at the start of the race, and it seemed like you just kind of fell back.
Yeah, I was trying different things, and towards the end, I kind of figured out what I liked, and I started catching the Hembach a little bit. But yeah, I guess it was a good icebreaker for me.
I'm glad to have you aboard, and you got any sponsors you want to thank?
I'd like to thank guys over at Spartan Racing, VMR Wraps, and Ripka Designs.
I want to thank you for being a part of the Veterans and First Responders race this evening.
Appreciate it.
You have yourself a wonderful evening. Hope to see you again next week.
Yep, you as well.
Alrighty, we're going to pull in our race winner here to see what he has to say. All right, Patrick, you got a copy of me again.
Yeah, gotcha again.
All right, you got yourself another podium. That one kind of was a cakewalk for you, it looked like.
Yeah, just super comfortable in a 360, so just rode the bottom and then tried different lines out, getting ready for next week.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like you were doing, was just kind of running yourself with a little bit of a practice race as you caught the tail of the field there at the end.
Yeah, just good solid race. Low car count today. Usually get a couple more veterans out, but hopefully get a couple more next week and just good racing tonight.
Well, yeah, car counts aren't something I always look at when I'm broadcasting. I mean, I just enjoy doing it. So, I mean, if people want to watch two cars go at it, I'll put it on.
Yeah.
Which has been the way with the league, one of the other leagues I'm a part of, but I'm glad to be part of Coast to Coast here on Coast2Coast Racing Network. Do you have any sponsors you want to thank again?
Just Trying Wheels Racing, you for putting this on, and I'm from Sarver as well, so I'm pretty sure, aren't you like around there as well?
Sarver, PA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm I'm about 10 minutes from the track of Lernerville.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was my first job growing up, was picking up trash there. So small world, and just Roger put on the league, and then I'll go back home watching.
Alrighty, well, I was very glad to put it on for you guys tonight, and I do hope I did it justice. I mean, if anybody has any pointers, I'll be glad to listen to them. You can definitely message me in the Discord. You know, the drivers, if you watch back and think there's something I can improve on, definitely message me or whatever. I'm going to try to streamline this heat paperwork and ad stuff that I got, that I throw in the ads throughout the night. But I think it went actually pretty well this evening. So thank you, Patrick, for being a part of the Veterans and First Responders race.
Sounds good. See you next week.
Yeah, catch you next week. Hopefully you can have the same amount of luck.
Hopefully.
Alrighty, everyone have a great night here As I got closing comments, where here? We want to give a shout out to Dylan Westbrook Racing. With you can get your hats, shirts, and more from four-time Weskin Speedway champion and current ASCS driver, the 47X of Dylan Westbrook, in the Coast to Coast Speed Shop on the C2C website. So next week's schedule, definitely will be back here on Wednesday for the player or for the hometown heroes, and we'll just run through the schedule of the Racing Network as we sign off here for the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Monday Night Madness will be 8 o'clock Eastern as Marty and SJRM bring you the Rebels and Renegades action. Icon TV brings you the Topless Tuesdays. I will be back here next Wednesday with the Hometown Heroes. And Thursday, we got the Thursday Night Thunder brought to you by the Extreme Speed TV. And Icon TV come back on Friday with the Friday Night Lights, bringing you street stock, limited, late models, and finishing with 360s. I'm not sure, but I think that needs updated on the paperwork as that has changed some. I'll have to update that for next week, but because that is Friday Night Lights with Joe Halter, I believe, if I'm thinking correctly. But everybody have a wonderful evening and hope to catch you around the Coast to Coast Racing Network for more live racing action.